Alright, Walking Dead, The Grove. Um, this episode's all about Carol, Tyrese, Lizzie, and Mika, and their misadventures. And we find that Carol's trying to teach Mika that she's little and she's too nice. And at least for the time being, they can't change how big she is, but they can change how nice she is. And she's trying to teach her to be mean, and Mika just can't do it. She knows that killing zombies is correct, is what she has to do, but she refuses to kill people or animals. And that's shared in one part of the episode where Carol tries to get her to kill a deer so they can have food, and she can't do it. And also throughout the episode, we see lots of good character development for all the characters for what it's worth, and I'll get to that later. We see, and then throughout the rest of the episode, it's mostly about Lizzie. We see how, I guess, far from reality Lizzie is. She views the walkers as people. We find out she's the one who was feeding the walkers at the fence back at the prison. We also find out she's the one that dissected the mouse or the rat at the in the mid-season finale. She's the one who did that, and she just said she did it for fun. And it's weird because she goes to the train tracks and there's a walker that had broken its leg and had fallen. It was stuck, and she's feeding it. And like basically she refuses to kill walkers because she sees them still as people, and it's just kind of weird. Like she'll kill them if they'll hurt her, but then sometimes she thinks they won't hurt her. Like there's one point where she's being chased by a walker outside this farmhouse that the four of them find, and Judith. They have Judith as well, and she's like, she thinks it's playing with her. She thinks it wants a friend. Carol goes out, veering for her, and goes and stabs the walker in the head. And she gets mad at Carol. She's screaming at her because she's like, "You killed my friend, Why? How would you like it if I killed you?" And there was this really, really long thing. And then there's a nice little part where Lizzie and Mika run into these burned walkers, and they're charred, the medium charred, the crispy charred walkers, and there's 8 of them, and so they run back to the house, and the 4, and both Mika, Lizzie, Tyrese, and Carol all shoot them. And so Lizzie's adamant on the fact that walkers are people, and they shouldn't kill walkers. That they just come back and they just want friends and attention. They have names and whatnot. And Mika's like, "We did that when, for fun. When things were bad. When things weren't bad. Things are bad now. We can't do that." And she's like, "I wasn't kidding. These are actual people." And so she seems really, really crazy. And then so Tyrese and Carol are out, and they leave Lizzie, Mika, and Judith behind. And while they're out, Tyrese reveals that, like, after seeing the burned walkers, he gets reminded of Karen and how he dreams about her. And that hurts, Carol, because, Carol's the one that killed Karen and David back in, episode 3? Yeah, back in episode 3. So that was a nice moment. And then on their way back, they see Lizzie standing there with a bloody knife, and Mika's dead. And she's like, "It's okay, she's gonna come back." And so at first they move forward, I guess, to put Mika out of misery, and Lizzie pulls a gun on him, telling him, no, let's wait. So Carol kind of goes along with her, and Tyrese takes her and Judith inside, and I guess Carol stabs Mika, her dead body, in the head. So Mika's dead, which that kind of threw me off a little bit. I did watch The Talking Dead before this episode, so I knew a bit of what would happen, but it didn't make any of the moments less powerful. And so, Carol and Tyrese are deciding what to do with Mika, or with Lizzie, and, they're like, at first Carol's like, "I can walk away with Lizzie because, she's not safe around Judith, she's not safe around people." And, Tyrese is like, "Yeah, you're not going to survive." So she's like, "Well, we can't separate, and then she can't be around people, so there's only one thing to do. So she takes Lizzie out into the field, and Lizzie understands, quickly figures out that Carol's mad at her, but she doesn't understand what's going to happen. So Carol tells her to just go look at the flowers and count to 3, which is something that Mika did earlier after a couple walkers died. Just go stare at the flowers, count to 3, to calm her down. And then while her back's turned, Carol shoots her, and it's a weird moment because, I mean, in a way, Lizzie's responsible for for some of the bad things that happen. Lizzie is responsible for at least the Walker problem at the prison. I mean, that doesn't matter really that much anymore. And so Tyrese and Carol are, they're distraught. I mean, God, the 2 little girls, 10-year-old girls are dead. And so Carol reveals to Tyrese finally that she was the one who killed Karen, and she takes her gun, she puts it on the table next to Tyrese, and she tells him to do what he has to, which is really funny because she said she did what she had to, and she had to protect everybody, and that's Carol's whole mantra, is that she has to do what she feels is right, and she's going to, and and it's also, I think, kind of just a sign that she's given up in a way. She was almost completely content with giving up at that point. If Tyrese were to shoot her, I feel like she'd probably be happy. Like, she probably didn't want him to shoot her, but she realized he might not be happy. I mean, he's probably going to be angry. So she gave him the gun. And I mean, another moment to show that she was, like, distraught was, like, the deer that she tried to get Mika to shoot earlier, that it's there, but she can't bring herself to shoot it either afterwards. So it's a weird thing, the whole episode's about learning. Everybody learns from each other. There's a bunch of little tiny things I'm not going to get into. But then Tyrese puts his hand on on Carol's gun, and he takes it off and he says, "I forgive you. I won't forget. I mean, we're both going to have to live with this forever, but I forgive you." And then and I guess they move on. They leave the house, and I guess they're heading towards the terminus. And so I guess they're going to meet up with the others there, hopefully. I mean, there's only 2 episodes left, which is interesting. There's only 2 episodes left, yet probably 2 of the last major conflicts from the beginning of season 4 are resolved. Who was feeding the walkers, and even though everybody figured it was Lizzie, and whether or not Tyrese was ever going to find out about Carol killing this woman. And now I'm just interested in where all is going to go. Apparently the next episode it's got a bit of Daryl in it, and I know that for a fact because they showed a sneak preview of it, but I mean, I'm not sure what else. Yeah, this was a really good episode. I mean, if you don't like, anything involving kids getting hurt, don't watch this episode. Oh my God, this was a heavy episode. Like I said, even though I knew what was going to happen, it didn't make it any less impactful. So this was a really good episode. You should watch this, you should like the channel, subscribe, all that good stuff, and bye.